chirping and chirping, had the Cowboys in the background. But who told you all year long they ain't gonna even win a playoff game? That would happen to be me, Swagoo. Guess what? Even on First Take Today, even the wife can't help you, bro. You in a world of trouble. I've been waiting for you.
I'm so scared.
I've been waiting. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you scared. Yeah, you scared. Yo, Marcus, can you see me? Can you see me?
You look good today, brother.
You looking at me?
Yeah, I see you.
What was that?
First Take.
Was that a wannabe look?
Display of
I don't know what just happened. That was bad.
The fans throwing beer balls on the field there at the very end. You see that? I think one of them hit Tank Lawrence.
No, I didn't see that. It's sad. I mean, you're talking about a team, you're talking about men that come out each and every day of their lives and give everything to this sport, give everything to this game of football. Nobody wants to succeed more than we want to succeed. I understand fans and the word fan for fanatic, I get that, but to know everything that we put into this day in and day out, try our hardest. Nobody comes in the game wanting or expecting to lose, and for people to react that way when you're supposed to be a supporter and be with us through thick and thin, that's tough.
I think they were aiming at the referees.
Yeah, they were at the referees.
Well, shit, credit to them then.
That's what
Yeah,
they weren't doing it.
oh, credit to them.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. Thank you for being with us. What up, big time? Marcus Spears, been too long. Good to see you. I was going to get right into it.
No, he ain't no big time. I'm big time. Not today. Now, any other day, Marcus is big time.
That you're big time?
No.
Or can you let other people do it?
No. It's all right. It's all right. All I'm saying is this. Today is the one day Swagoo, Mr. Box Office, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Big man bowling. That brother, not today. He's small, but he's smaller.
Well, let me first of all.
Can I see that hook again from the open?
First of all, let me start this by saying, because I know we got to get into the Cowboys. Yeah. It's actually good to see y'all. I know it's been like a rough last few weeks. Yeah. So let's get that out of the way, and then I can get to sparring with you, sir.
I missed you, bro.
Yeah.
I missed you too.
Hold on, man. Let me get. Hold on, I'm getting emotional right now. Okay, let's go to this show. I'm getting emotional right now thinking about him. I did miss.
Don't get emotional. I did text you over the time to check in and make sure.
What you looking at me like that with the gold on?
Don't be mad.
Okay, you ain't got on white boots today, do you?
I got brown.
Thank God.
I'm in season.
Thank God.
All right,
Thank God.
Let's go. Did you see that flexibility? That was impressive right there.
It was impressive.
Okay, Dak Prescott apologized Tuesday via Twitter for his post-game comments regarding fans throwing bottles and debris at the officials after Sunday's wild-card loss to the San Francisco 49ers. On Tuesday, he walked that back, tweeting to his 1.4 million followers to apologize, writing this. I'll read it to you. I deeply regret the comments I made regarding the officials after the game on Sunday. I was caught up in the emotion of a disappointing loss, and my words were uncalled for and unfair. I hold the NFL officials in the highest regard, and I've always respected their professionalism and the difficulty of their jobs. The safety of everyone who attends a game or participates on the field of a sporting event is a very serious matter. That was a mistake on my behalf, and I am sorry. All I have to say is 2 words: class act. Marcus Spears, how does Dak look following this apology?
It looks bad. It looks bad because Dak. Listen, Molly. We sometimes apologies have to come because it looks good publicly. All right. Dak, in the heat of the moment, I'm sure he was reeling from losing the game, and he made a statement about the referees based on a question that was asked that he would walk back. So I firmly believe that he feels bad about it looking back at it. But ultimately, I'm not going to ever get on First Take. We didn't went in on refs before. We just haven't went in on them publicly. I'm sure Dak felt that way. I'm sure a lot of people felt that way. But ultimately, what it really boils down to is the damage is already done, based on what you said, because referees do go through a lot in all sports, in all professional sports, when you start talking about dealing with fans and when fans feel like they were the reason that their team lost and all of those things. So they go through a lot. So to gaslight that and add fuel to that by saying that in that moment, even though you were emotional and even though you had just suffered a loss that you didn't think that you would in a game that you would lose, I just don't like it. I think the apology, though, I think it comes from public perception. Because I firmly believe Dak still feels that way. And that's my point for saying it falls on deaf ears. I understand the apology. I understand the analysis of the apology and why you apologize. But ultimately, I believe Dak truly felt that way when that question was asked. And I still think he feels that way today, even though he's walked it back and apologized. I still think he feels that way about the refs. Not throwing stuff at him, but his vitriol towards him, I still believe he feels that.
Well, it's a debate show, and we certainly have a whole bunch of stuff that we'll get into today. But this ain't one of the things that we're going to disagree about. If anything, I disagree with you, Molly, only from this perspective. You can be classy and dead wrong.
Yeah.
Which he was. And that's the point that can't be escaped. You walked it back. The apology was spot on. It was perfect.
Yeah.
He said all the right things upon having a day or two to reflect on it.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact we also have to take this into consideration. He is usually class personified.
Yeah.
And so you give him the benefit of the doubt. But here's the reason why with this particular apology, and it somewhat touches on what Marcus alluded to, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper, Swagoo, with this. Yeah, he probably meant it. Yeah, he said what he said. And guess what? That ain't no crime. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with feeling disgusted with the referees and the job they did. Here's the most egregious part about Dak Prescott. Ultimately, you were trying to blame the referees for the game, not for the moment. You were out there for 60 minutes, and you played like hot trash. That's the reality. Now, one play, think about this. What Dak was in a position to do was try to go, and not necessarily a Hail Mary, because it wasn't like he was 60 or 70 yards downfield. But basically what you tried to use a couple of seconds that you thought should have been available to you to try to pull off a miracle and use that to blame officials for what you were on the field 60 minutes doing, or 59 minutes and 40 seconds. That was you, Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, I don't understand how you have less followers than me, but that's a different subject for another day.
Oh, my God. Sit down somewhere
You're the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, damn, I thought he could have
Okay,
more.
time out. I need to say something in defense of Dak Prescott and play devil's advocate here. Guys, this was potentially their best chance to win a Super Bowl, right? They were talented on both sides of the ball. Everyone thought this is their year. He went through injuries. He's heartbroken. He loses a game in embarrassing fashion. They have 14 penalties. Then someone comes up to him and says, "Did you see the fans throwing debris?" He was in the heat of the moment.
We get that, Molly, and that's why I said.
We get it, but
how are we going to act like this is egregious when other things that athletes have done? Then he comes up, shows his face, and says, "I apologize."
No.
We're all human and we make mistakes, especially when we're upset.
You have an obligation when you make a point to listen to a retort.
Okay, well, I wasn't done making it.
Here's where I'm coming at you with. Molly, we're not saying that, oh my goodness, it's egregious and not to forgive him for it. What we're saying is you tried to point the finger at officials for what you didn't do in the end.
He was asked a question. He was salty about it.
Wait a minute. But you salty about it, and you were looking to point the finger at someone other than yourself.
Yes.
You did not play good. You came up short. You didn't produce.
I get it, but he was asked about the debris.
By Jimmy Garoppolo.
He wasn't asked about that. He was asked about the debris, gentlemen. He was asked a direct question about that subject.
Okay.
He wasn't asked about his play.
So let me respond to that part of it, since he was asked a direct question.
Okay.
In the middle of heat and in the middle of anger, he has to understand that inciting, I don't want to sensationalize it, throwing debris at the referees, how they take it as a effect on their person. Right? You saw the referees come out and say we unequivocally are mad. The league needs to take action. Dak in that moment, Dak been playing football long enough. And y'all all know I'm a Dak Prescott fan. I think Dak has done a lot of tremendous things the right way. So this is not an indictment on who Dak Prescott is as a whole person. This particular situation, though, you have to be smarter than saying credit to them for throwing things at the referees, bro. You've been in this too long to know
not
what
just
type
that-
of vitriol that looks like and how that happens. The
and not
heat of the
just that-
moment can't be an excuse for that, Molly Q. It just can't.
It can't. It can't. Well, not just that, Molly. Here's the other thing that you have to take
tell
into
me.
consideration. You will chronicle, because you're the matriarch of this show.
Thank you.
And you will chronicle what people's track records are.
Absolutely.
Character-wise, there's no debate about
No
that,
debate.
Scott. We all get that. We all get that. But we're talking football, meaning we're leaning on your performance. The fact of the matter is, you had a cadre of individuals, if not damn near 75% of the football world, pushing for you to get your money. I was mad at Jerry Jones because when he got hurt, I thought Jerry Jones and them was going to use that as an excuse not to finally give Dak Prescott the money we all thought he richly deserved.
Yeah.
You got your bill. You got your paper to the point where with signing bonus and salary and everything taken into consideration, for this 1 year alone, you got $75 million. You show up, you win 12 games during the regular season. You win the NFC East. You got Cowboys Nation. We gonna win the Super Bowl next year. We got our tickets for SoFi. And you show up and play like hot garbage.
See, but that's what part of this is, because you guys are salty about his performance. So that's part
But
of
that's
why
what
you're
we're saying.
holding this against him. But we're talking about in the heat of the moment how he addressed comments, and you're holding against
but Molly,
how he
Molly,
played.
but then, hold on,
we do have to move on, though, guys. Last word here.
But here's the reason
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Because you pointed the finger at someone else other than you.
Okay.
That's why.
Let's do this. Let's agree to disagree. And let's,
Nothing to disagree about,
let's
Molly. You're wrong.
Me and him supposed to be
my
fighting today, Molly Q.
goodness.
Hey, get back to fighting me. All right,
Okay.
I don't like
Yeah.
fighting with Molly.
Yeah.
You
I'm
fight
supposed to
me
be
today.
Switzerland.
I'm not fighting with Molly.
just
She's
spicy
just
right
wrong
now.
on this particular issue.
Okay,
Well,
She's
I
not
agree with
flawless.
You know what?
She's
you know what?
imperfect like the rest of us.
Because I disagree with you, I'm wrong. You know what? It's cool, because I always take the high road in life, and you know this. Let's carry on. Let's get to some teams that are actually playing in the playoffs.
Oh man.
Go ahead.
The trophy stays here. The Chiefs are back-to-back AFC champions.
Everybody wants to make this big deal about the AFC Championship rematch, but it's a new year. This team's different than last year. Their team's different than last year.
We're expecting the battle, and we know that it's going to be another fight for us if we want to try to move on to the AFC Championship game this year.
Fires straight down the middle. Touchdown, Buffalo! The end zone, he throws it. It's caught. Touchdown! And the Bills are pouring it on the Patriots. And Mahomes is on fire!
Let's go. The Bills were dominant in Kansas City once already this season, beating the Chiefs 38-20 in Week 5. Josh Allen threw for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns, while their defense picked off Patty Mahomes twice. Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
More disappointing here if Buffalo or Kansas City loses.
Before I move forward,
Yeah.
I just want you to know that for the rest of the show, I would strongly advise you to watch your tone with me. My sister Linda's watching, and she did not like the way you spoke to her little brother. She thought the tone.
Hi, Linda.
She thought the tone was
You
a
know
little
what,
bit
Linda?
aggressive. You
Linda, let me
understand?
just say this,
I'm just
Linda.
saying.
I apologize if my tone was off, and I apologize to
Right.
Stephen A. But
Right.
apparently Stephen A. doesn't accept apologies.
I do
when
accept
people are
apologies.
in the heat of the
I do
moment.
accept
We saw
apologies.
that with Dak.
I do accept
So I
apologies.
don't even know if this will do anything right
Molly,
now.
do
Real
not
talk.
Do,
Yes,
do
Marcus.
not fall into no apology to Miss Linda. I got mad respect for Stephen A. family, but we ain't about to get as much
just
as
telling-
Stephen A. go in on people. He can
telling
take
you.
a little heat.
My sister didn't like the tone, Marcus. My sister didn't like the tone. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying
Family
to say.
over
Now let, me
everything.
get, now let me get to this point. That's right. I got
Okay.
4 older sisters. You better ask somebody. Here's the deal, y'all. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm looking at this, and when we talk about the Bills and the Chiefs, here's my thing. It's the Chiefs. Let's be real about something here. We still believe in Patrick Mahomes, don't we? We still believe that brother's a stud. We still believe he's one of, if not the elite quarterback in the National Football League. We've seen what we've seen from Tom Brady. He's the reigning Super Bowl champion. We know who Aaron Rodgers is, that dude. I think we both agree he's the league MVP as far as I'm concerned. It's Aaron Rodgers for me, Swagoo. All right? But Patrick Mahomes is right there. We understand this, how great he is. As much as we love Josh Allen, most of the football world want to see a rematch between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, this time with Patrick Mahomes having his offensive line intact and not having a toe injury, okay? We want that. Or we want Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
When you
Who's the
talk
most talented?
when you talk
No,
the
you're right.
Super Bowl, okay? I mean, understand the Super Bowl's a holiday. Super Bowl holiday, man. You home. You understand? If you ain't at the stadium, you home. You ain't by your damn self watching the game or just with the wife. You got a crew of people with you. We might not this year because of COVID. But the bottom line is normally, you got a crew of people. I mean, you got food. I mean, in my case, it's going to be catered. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be catered this time around if I were to do that. Something like that. You want a Super Bowl atmosphere. You don't want to see no 13-3 outcome the way Tom Brady beat Jared Goff. You want to see this kind of stuff right here. Patrick Mahomes is that guy, and that's why, to me, the answer, more disappointing if Bills or Chiefs lose, it would be the Chiefs, because you got most of the football world salivating to see a healthy Patrick Mahomes with a healthy offensive line back in that Super Bowl with my brother from another mother, Travis Kelce, and the cheater himself, Tyreek Hill.
Stephen A., from entertainment value, you're absolutely right. But the more disappointing would be the Bills, bro.
Why?
Because they trying to climb the mountain. And this is when they feel like they have the opportunity to climb the mountain. Their quarterback right now is playing as well as anybody. I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes, don't get me wrong. But right now, Josh Allen is playing as well as anybody in the NFL at the position, running and passing. I'm talking about a quarterback that literally, Stephen A., they put 47 points on Bill Belichick, bro. Like, this is not, so think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. You get Bill Belichick and you win that game 47-17. And I understand Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback, but it ain't nobody in the world expected them to win that game by 30. And Josh Allen coming off a game like that, after what the Buffalo Bills suffered last year against Kansas City, they beat them earlier this year. So you telling me that when both of these teams match up, the Buffalo Bills don't have more on the line? I get it, what you're saying. I want to see my initial matchup in the Super Bowl, I think coming into this season, was the Rams against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, and the Rams are there, but I don't think the Rams are a better team than Green Bay or Tampa. It's not saying they can't win, they absolutely can. But here's the point for the Buffalo Bills. They are right there, bro. We talking about a team that was in the AFC Championship last year that lost to this team that we talking about right now. Josh Allen just got a deal for $250 million from the Buffalo Bills. And can he answer? Because this is gonna be the guy you're gonna have to face a lot going forward. We know the old history of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and how many times or who would be the guy that's stopping the other guy from having the opportunity to win a Super Bowl, or who is in the way. This is right now what we see for the foreseeable future. I know Joe Burrow is coming and the Cincinnati Bengals are there. But right now, when we look at the AFC and we talk about premier guys, it is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And this matchup has so much to do with the continuation of defining both of their careers, and then Buffalo as a team, S.A. Like, Buffalo as a team right now feels like, and they know that they can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It will be the biggest disappointment if they go to Kansas City and lose this game once again, that knocks them out of the playoff, and you cannot validate all of the work and the things that you've done going forward. But the most important thing, dude, 47-17 against Bill Belichick is a statement that the Buffalo Bills made to say we are here now to kick the door in. I understand. Go ahead.
You know, excuse me. That's a long ass soliloquy you just gave.
Well,
to say,
I'm just trying to give you a reason. I'm
say
trying to give you a
little to
football
nothing.
reason.
Because let me tell you what the deal is, okay? Last time I checked, wasn't the Bills in the AFC Championship?
Yeah,
game?
and lost.
I believe that's okay. So they lost. So what I'm saying to you is this: they were there, they knocking at the door. We get it, Bills Mafia and the whole nine. We understand all of that, but it ain't just about Josh Allen. We know they got Stephon Diggs. Manuel Sanders ain't nothing to sneeze at. Cole Beasley ain't nothing to sneeze at. Singletary running out of the backfield ain't nothing to sneeze at. But when you say that, and you say Mahomes and Kelsey,
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, and so it's a little different flavor to it.
SA.
Okay? And I know the Bills' defense is big time. I know their defense is big time. I get all of that. But when you talk about the operative word here is disappointment. Disappointment. Ain't nobody outside of Buffalo gonna be disappointed if the Buffalo Bills ain't there.
Oh, come on, man.
Stop it.
We talk about these two teams. Stop playing.
That's what we doing.
Stephen
That's
A.
what we doing.
Who's going to be more disappointed if they don't win this game? Honestly, from a football context. We've seen the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl the last 2 years.
You can't ask the question and then don't let me answer.
I just want to get that point out before you answer the damn question.
Now let me answer the question. I'd say Kansas City. You know why? Because the last time we saw them in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl rather, they got romped.
Yeah.
They got destroyed. I can make that argument.
Right.
You can't summarily
Stephen,
destroy.
when we say they got destroyed, what do we
go
say?
out like that?
What do we say when we say that they got destroyed? What do we say right after that? Their whole offensive line was compromised.
Hold on, time out. What I'm saying is, don't you want to see Patrick Mahomes in a healthy offensive line exact revenge potentially?
Didn't I just agree with you?
But I'm just saying that's from a football perspective as well. And don't grind your feet and huff
It
and
is
puff like
more
you gonna do
disappointing.
something.
It is more disappointing if the Buffalo Bills don't get past the Kansas City Chiefs than
Marcus?
vice versa.
You know what? Stephen A. is all about the shine. So for him, the
he's
Bills
talking about
don't have
a
enough
damn
stars.
entertainment
There's not enough
Hey,
star power, Hollywood
This is
shine.
from the sister.
So he's
This is
down
what-
with Patrick Mahomes.
This is from the
because of
sister that's
that.
rocking gold and all that. I'm about to shine.
Molly,
and she blink.
got that sauce on
I'm
today,
about
Molly.
to shine.
You
Okay.
got that sauce on today.
Okay.
You shining today.
You know
but he
what?
wrong.
You know what?
He wrong
That's
about
wrong.
this. It's going to be more.
Listen.
It's going to be more disappointing if the Bills don't get past the Chiefs.
We disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We agree to disagree.
We disagree.
Don't be mad that I can buy my
I
own
want
gold
to see
chains.
Mahomes and
We'll carry
Aaron
on here.
Rodgers.
To the NBA we go. Two NBA superstars go head-to-head tonight when Giannis and the Bucks host John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizz are third in the West, the Bucks fifth in the East. Both have been having incredible seasons thus far and have been mentioned in the MVP combo. Giannis currently has the second shortest MVP yards, just behind Steph Curry, while Morant still remains outside the top five. Thank you, Jay Well. I need to change the
What's he
energy.
doing here?
I
It's good to
don't
be back.
even want to look
What's
at
he
Jay
doing
Well.
here?
I'm so glad everything's okay. I just wanted to say, this is for you. Welcome back. You know, just your team's hat. I know we have a suit on the line, and things are not looking great. Hopefully, my Duke guys can help
was
you
the
out.
bet again?
It was a Tom Ford suit.
All right, well, I'm saying, but what was the bet in terms
How
of
much
what
does
the
a
Knicks had
Tom
to do?
Ford suit cost?
I don't own any. He does. He will be a better indicator on that for me personally.
About at least 4,000.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But what was the bet exactly? Like the Knicks had to do what?
You guys have to make it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Yeah.
Let me
it's not
check right
looking-
now. Are they 11th in the
Yeah,
East? Are
they-
they below 500, the Knicks? And they have like the worst record at home, record breaking.
Carl Anthony Towns played well last night in the Garden.
Yeah.
That's hope.
You know what? Thank goodness you came here to humble folks. But let's focus.
I don't like Jay.
I
Go
love
ahead.
you. I love you. I just
Yeah.
It's my
want you
brother.
to
I love him.
remember.
I don't like him. I love him, but I don't like him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I
Go
can,
ahead.
I can relate.
Okay. Sure you
Stephen A.,
can.
would you rather have Ja or Giannis in these playoffs?
I got to tell you. Listen, Giannis is an obvious answer. Let me say this to you. Let John Morant keep ascending. And I might go with Ja. I think it's a discussion. Giannis is Giannis. And I get that. And he's the reigning finals MVP, reigning champion. He's a former league MVP, defensive player of the year. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. I get all of that. Giannis is Giannis. But we don't know what the hell Ja gonna be. And see, I will confess to you, I'll give you something to laugh about. Because I've been going through it emotionally.
Yeah, I've been watching
With
the
my
tweets.
Knicks,
Yeah.
with my Knicks. And let me tell you, this is what I can't stop thinking about. I'm just gonna throw myself on the guillotine here.
Okay.
I think about Steph Curry. And all I keep thinking about over the last few months is New York Knicks had the 8th pick, 2009. And he went 7th. And the reason why I keep thinking about that is because all these recent 30-point performances by R.J. Barrett got everybody excited. We've never confused him with Ja Morant. New York Knicks had the 3rd pick. Ja Morant goes number 2. I mean, you can't make this up, okay? And then when you couple that with that damn Phil Jackson, great, phenomenal coach, but just garbage as a Knicks executive, sitting up there. I'm on New York radio screaming at the world. Donovan Mitchell to the high heavens. He grabs Frank Ntilikina.
And he's come out here too, Donovan
The
Mitchell.
R.J. Barrett draft. As much as I like R.J. Barrett, and I'm proud of him because he started using his right hand. Remember, we couldn't get the number 2 pick. We fell at number 3. Who was the dude on the air saying, Darius Garland out of Vanderbilt. This brother can play.
I mean, we could
New
do
York
this.
Knicks
How
need
many
a
Monday morning quarterback.
decades do we do this right now?
But I'm just saying.
I hear you. No, I'm with you.
It's all there. I was saying all that. And everybody like, oh, Steven, shut up.
Yeah.
Steven, shut up. And they just dismissed it. And I'm watching all of this now. And damn it, Jay, it hurts. It hurts, man.
You were in perpetual purgatory.
Hurts because I look at Ja Morant. Could you imagine if he was at the Garden? Could you imagine if Ja Morant was at Madison Square Garden every night? Do you understand how special that would be? And I'm telling y'all right now, I got Ja Morant as a top 2, top 3 MVP candidate right now.
Yeah.
Okay? Right in that conversation with Giannis. I'm going to throw Joel Embiid in there. Kevin Durant, obviously, and Steph Curry. Kevin Durant is going because of the injury. I had him at number 1. You were right. Steph Curry, fell off a little bit, but he could come back. But Ja Morant right now, look, I know Giannis is going to dominate everybody that's smaller and weaker. I get that. But what Ja Morant can do, Lord have mercy. I got to tell you, I can't sit up there and definitively say I'd rather have Giannis come playoff time at this moment because I don't know what the hell I'm going to see from Ja Morant.
Sounds like you're leaning to Ja. Where are you on this, Jay?
I love Ja. His game is ascending. I would agree with Stephen A. that he is top 3 in the MVP votes. It's not a question for me right now, though. I'm taking Giannis, and I'm not even thinking twice about it, S.A. I'm not. I mean, 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. One of the most historic offensive performances we've seen in the history of the game.
Yeah.
I don't care if people want to knock and say that if Kevin Durant wore a size 16, they wouldn't have been there. They got there, and he performed. I've seen them do it. There is history. 2-time MVP, NBA Finals MVP, probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year this year again, and he was 2020.
I don't think that's going to happen.
All right, well, fine. He's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the
I don't think
conversation.
that's gonna happen. I'm a Draymond Green guy on that.
That's fine. I love seeing Ja Morant ascend. He is a beast. I just know what the hell I'm going to get with Giannis when the playoffs come around. I know what I'm going to get.
Fair.
And if anybody wants to use the situation about, well, the free throw line, I'm like, I'm not having the ball in crunch time in Giannis' hands. I'm having it in Chris Middleton's hands to make some decisions, and Giannis will attack the rim.
Right. But that right there is where we have to crystallize this conversation. Because you said, I'm not having the ball in his hand.
But you're talking about one aspect of the game. I'm talking about defensively. I'm talking about all the game together, Stephen A.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess what I'm saying to you is this. What I'm seeing from Ja Morant has me fantasizing. Because remember, it ain't like he showed up in the playoffs last year and wilted beneath the pressure.
They beat Golden State.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But he answered the call.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In terms of his performance.
Yeah.
And we know how spectacular he can be. And we see his game evolving even more to the point right now. Like, for example, we got, I got a vote and, all-star starters and stuff like that. Steph Curry's a given. And then they say CP3. Well, I'm not sure. What about Ja Morant? What about Ja Morant?
He has career highs in
CP3
every category right
I'm
now.
just saying, CP3 is sensational. He's sensational. I'm just saying. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Ja Morant, there's an unknown element about Ja Morant that can elevate you to a point where you're saying, like, everybody move the hell out the way. This brother has arrived.
Oh, I agree.
It's possible that come playoff time, we might be saying that about this brother.
See, but you're using words like possible.
That's fair.
You're
And I
using
get
things
that.
like I don't know, but
remember,
I agree with you. It's trending in that direction.
But remember, when you look at Giannis, and I'm not taking anything away from him, he was phenomenal.
Oh,
fantastic.
but you're about to.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you is this: DeAndre Ayton, relatively young, but also minimal help. Saric goes down, he's injured. Don't give me Frank Kaminsky. He was a big man playing against boys compared to him. in terms of his motor, his size, his strength, everything that you bring to the table. He was the big man on campus, and you knew it. And what I find myself saying is, well, what if it ain't like that? What if you got some men in that post area
like who?
That I'm saying that turns you, collectively speaking, that turns you.
I know. I'm asking like
more
who?
of a perimeter.
What's an example?
I'm talking about a team.
Is there anybody? Is there any player that can turn him into a perimeter
No
player?
player, but I think schematically, from a team perspective, you can neutralize the things that made him effective against Phoenix in that game 6. And that's what I don't know if you have an answer for Ja Morant. I don't know if you have an answer.
Well, no one had an answer for the Bucks last season. I know there was a lot of injuries, but that's a true
injuries,
story. That's a true story, though. They didn't have an answer for Giannis. He proved some
I respect
things.
the hell out of Milwaukee, but they ain't in no damn conference
He is
finals
the champion.
if Kyrie don't get hurt. They ain't no damn conference finals if Kyrie don't
You know
get
what?
hurt.
Is that something positive about Kyrie that you said today? I'm just gonna.
Oh, don't worry.
Put that in my pocket. and hold on
We're
to that
talking
for-
about Kyrie
we'll come back
later,
to that one
Jay.
later.
Can you come back to that?
It was just
Yeah,
uplifting. I wasn't used to hearing you.
I've never said anything about the brothers game.
I understand. I'm just saying I'm not used to hearing you talk positively.
Okay,
That's
okay. Jay will be back. We're talking Kyrie, clearly. They just teased
I'm
him.
waiting for you.
Coming up, that bad man has yet to win a second ring. So how should we view Aaron Rodgers if he can't deliver another Super Bowl win? Dominique Foxworth joining that debate. And, of course, Swagoo is here. Plus,
special opportunity. We're not going to make it bigger than it is. But I understand that in our business, so much of it is focused on the wins and losses, especially in the playoffs, Super Bowl rings and all that stuff. I understand that's part of my legacy. I'll be judged on when I'm done playing. And every year is important when it comes to furthering your legacy.
okay. Dominique Foxworth in the building. Good to see you, sir. I like the fit.
Thank you.
Stephen, I want to come to you on this, and I want to set it up this way. Because Rodgers is so talented, right? I know how highly you think of him.
No doubt about that. Now let me be. That's all right.
You fit in here with that, complimenting yourself.
That's what
I
we
mean,
do
people
here. That's what we do here. Here's the deal, though.
They got that cigar smoking jacket on today, though.
That's right. That's right.
Good, bro.
No, I'm into it. I'm into it. You should see that.
Start with me.
And he's got the hair.
You got that fresh out the suitcase button up on. That collar doing the wave.
And he's got the Air
I earned
Maxes
it
too to
today,
match.
too.
You earned that thing? You couldn't do nothing about the collar. The collar doing the worm.
I think we got to pay attention to the fact that Marcus never wears ties because he probably can't get around it. Subject for another day. Anyway, what I want to say is,
if you want to squash him like a fly, I'm here for it, Marcus.
Foxy, don't laugh at that.
You're right. I'm sorry. That ain't funny.
Marcus,
not funny.
Marcus, let me take off my earrings. I'm here for it.
As long as you took off the white boots, we good. Here's the deal. Aaron Rodgers has lost 4 conference championship games.
Yeah.
4 in the last 7 years. You haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010. Now, to my eyes, I understand that Tom Brady is the GOAT because of his accomplishments, his resume. But from a strictly talent perspective, the reason why I said Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, because I believe Aaron Rodgers to be the greatest talent at the quarterback position I have ever seen. That's not to dismiss what we saw from Patrick Mahomes, but you don't get to do it for 1 or 2 years when I'm watching a brother that has done it for more than a decade. And so for me, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen in my life. And when I look at that, and I look at the fact that you've had 4 bites at the apple since you won the Super Bowl, you came up short all 4 times. Over the last 3 years, they are 39-10. They've won 13 games each year, 13-3 back-to-back years, the year before last, and last year, 13-4 this year. You knocking on the door, you knocking on the door, you knocking on the door. Tom Brady departs from England, comes over not just to your conference, to your conference rather, handles his business in year 1. You said you got a crew. Devontae Adams is no joke. Lazard and Valdez-Scantling and those brothers can play. You got dual threat at the running back spot with Jones and Dillon. You're right. You ain't upset with the coach, and Bakhtiari is coming back. Your offensive line is already decent enough. That brother coming back. Defense ain't shabby. What's the excuse? I'm looking at this right now, and I'm saying, I'm sorry. This is significant. If you Aaron Rodgers, you got to get it done. And I believe he will, but you got to get it done.
So the reason why I would say that it's not as significant as you make it out to be is because he does have a Super Bowl. So Aaron Rodgers, to me, is Dan Marino. but Dan Marino never got a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is Dan Marino because once Dan Marino came in the league, everybody was like, damn, we've been doing this wrong. Right. And then from that point forward, the model of quarterback was to try to find somebody like Dan Marino. Okay. The same thing happened when Aaron Rodgers, once he finally got an opportunity to start and he started playing well, everyone looked around and said, oh, you can throw a ton of interceptions, you can throw a ton of touchdowns, barely no interceptions, and also do it while being athletic. Aaron Rodgers was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. And everyone tried to do that going forward. So we forget, I agree, we forget how good players were, quarterbacks in particular, if they don't win a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl. Winning another Super Bowl, I don't think it does very much for his legacy because the only person who any of us will put above him, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is Tom Brady. He ain't catching him. He is not catching him.
What about Patrick Mahomes?
No, I mean, maybe Patrick Mahomes also, who also only has one touchdown. But I don't think that it changes. It only has one Super Bowl. But I don't think that it changes the way we remember him because we can't call him a loser the way that we talked about Dan Marino. It's like Dan Marino was great, but he never won the big one. As long as the great one, Tom Brady's up there with 7 Super Bowls, unless Aaron Rodgers plans on catching that, another Super Bowl I don't think changes the way that we remember him. He's not Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, as great as he was, we're going to talk about Phillip Rivers one more time when he gets in the Hall of Fame, and then from then on, we're done with that. The same kind of way that we do a lot of these quarterbacks. We're going to talk about Eli Manning because he won two Super Bowls for much longer than we're going to talk about Phillip Rivers. But I would say that in Aaron Rodgers' case, he got that one Super Bowl that put him in the conversation. He is in the neighborhood of guys that he is much better than, but years from now, we're going to talk about the impact he had on the league, how he was the first of the new breed of quarterbacks. We're going to talk about how he was a bad man. And we're not going to talk about how he doesn't have 7.
I'm going to let Swag go in here. You said a lot of stuff that I want to address. Go ahead, Swag. There's a lot of stuff you wrong about.
You said a lot of stuff I absolutely disagree with. The first thing is this. I acknowledge that a Super Bowl is very difficult to win, and having one is a big deal. But Aaron Rodgers has asserted himself to needing more Super Bowls for his significant impact and legacy in the NFL. He's no longer in the discussion about being a great quarterback. We all acknowledge that. That will be his legacy. When we start talking about the greatest, though, you're going to need more than one Super Bowl, especially when you get on the list and you start, and this has nothing to do with Tom Brady. Everybody that's watching Tom Brady understands that this is an anomaly. Just like Nick Saban in college, that's an anomaly. It doesn't mean other people can't be great because they don't have 7 or 8 Super Bowls. That is anomaly. This is the first time we've ever seen it happen. But the bottom line is this. For me, this is my argument about significant Super Bowl drought. Do we just forget all the noise he's made about his disdain for this organization and the things that they haven't done to put him in a position to be successful? I've been one saying your organization can't be that dysfunctional and you continue to go to the NFC Championship game. And if we're going to judge the greats based on their opportunities to either win Super Bowls or get to them, Aaron Rodgers will be center and squarely in that conversation, and his legacy will take a significant impact based on just having one. It's the same thing when we go to basketball. When LeBron won his first one, everybody was like, that ain't enough. We can't put him in the conversation. He won his second one. That ain't enough because he ascended to the level of people saying you equate to more than one championship.
Basketball is not football. So it's an entirely different conversation. The rings conversation. The rings conversation is fine for basketball. It does not work in football the same way.
What are we judging Aaron Rodgers on?
My point is, right now, I can end this pretty easily and be right. So first of all, you said Aaron Rodgers put himself in that conversation by talking about his own legacy. Aaron Rodgers says a lot of foolishness that just because he says it doesn't mean it's right. So we can go ahead and slide that to the side. Okay. The second part of this is, I can ask you a simple question. Do you put Aaron Rodgers ahead of Eli Manning in his greatness of all time?
Yes.
Okay, he got one Super Bowl. We're done. It's nothing else he could do. There's only one person who any of us would legitimately put Aaron Rodgers underneath right now in all-time accomplishment.
He's trying to be in the conversation of one of the GOATs, though.
He's not trying to be in the conversation.
Don't do that. We ain't never talked about Eli Manning.
I'm just saying, I'm picking a random. Pick anybody who has 2 Super Bowls. Pick anybody who has 2 Super Bowls.
May I chime in?
Please do.
I mean, you play football. You're knowledgeable about football. You're an expert on football. You worked in the Players Association. I mean, you got all.
But I'm wrong. I don't need need to sugarcoat. Get right to it.
Excuse me. I can do that on First Take. That's the beauty of it all, okay? I can butter it up. Let me say this to you. You brought up Dan Marino. First of all, I don't appreciate that. You were really, really slick with that. See, for people that didn't follow football, they'll let Dominique Foxworth slide with that. You know good and damn well, we looked at Dan Marino, and he was never blamed for it.
Right.
Because Don Shula never got him a defense. Okay. Brother had Mark, super duper Mark. Clayton, even had Chuck Muncie and those brothers. You had a high-powered offense and stuff like that. You never gave him a defense. So religiously, we looked at Dan Marino and said, damn, it ain't him. With Aaron Rodgers, we ain't going to do that.
Okay.
So you can't compare the two. Because with Aaron Rodgers, we're going to hold him directly accountable. With Miami and Dan Marino, we held Don Shula accountable.
That's fine.
Okay, when you bring up Phillip Rivers, I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe for you, I don't even know if Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. You went 9 years. You made the playoffs twice. Okay, you have one appearance in the AFC Championship game. You've never went to a Super Bowl at all. The only reason why Eli Manning, a very nice guy, a gentleman, but the only reason why he's in the discussion as a Hall of Famer is because he's got 2 Super Bowl titles. I mean, everything of his resume just reeks average. 500 record as a quarterback, all right, interceptions, completions, all of this stuff. I'm looking at Eli Manning. Not only you got those 2 Super Bowl rings, so we can't ignore that, but he was never, ever confused as being even anywhere close to the best in the game. And so when you look at Aaron Rodgers, I'm saying what makes it significant is the expectations, Dominique, because we recognized you as arguably the best. Do you understand that Patrick Mahomes could win the Super Bowl this year and he'd have more rings than Aaron Rodgers? People are going to remember that. That's going to matter.
Okay,
right,
so
more on this later. Last word here. No,
so I mean, so picking Eli Manning was a bit of like a rhetorical trick by me, but we could pick anyone else in that two Super Bowl category, and you're not. I mean, John Elway. You put John Elway is great. Won 2 Super Bowls late in the career when the offense was not as much built around him as it was Terrell Davis. Okay. Are you putting John Elway ahead of Aaron Rodgers? No. Because I'm not. Okay, my point is made. We are not going to put Aaron Rodgers in the top because there's one man up there. Maybe you can put Joe Montana up there. He's not catching either of those 2 guys.
All right, let's do this.
He's already above the rest of the guys that are in his company.
Wait, hold up.
Point wasn't made because you didn't mention Don Elway until just now, but okay.
I made it at the end. That's called being smart. I saved that for the end.
And we're going to revisit this conversation.
Every time everybody starts blowing up the Cowboys, I'm going to ask for that footage. I'm going to ask for that montage just to put everybody in check. Remember what happened to y'all? Remember how y'all were? You sure you want to stick out your chest and act like this? That's how I'm gonna hold on to that footage swag.
They mine.
Until
they mine.
next
I'm gonna
year.
stick by them. I'm gonna stick by them. They mine. I'm gonna stick by them.
Yours. They yours.
I'm gonna stick by them.
Don't make us bring up the Knicks again. You already got humbled earlier.
I'm gonna stick by them.
No.
Nothing can eclipse that. Nothing can eclipse that.
Okay.
I got Marcus. No, I got him. Mrs. Swagoo can't even help him on that one. That footage right there, those fans.
You think you've ever told me something I don't know about Cowboy fans?
That's right.
Marcus,
you ain't see that before.
Just ignore him. Let's talk. Let's have a real conversation.
I played. I was a part of that pain for them for a couple years.
Did they hit you over the head with anything?
No.
Can I get to the debate?
Yes.
Okay. Marcus, I want to have a conversation with you, sir, an unbiased conversation. Obviously, we know all the talent on the Cowboys. They didn't live up to expectations.
Right.
Are these Cowboys headed in the right direction, or do changes need to happen?
Nah, they're not headed in the right direction. And it has a lot to do with football context as well. This offensive line is getting old. The stalwart, Tyron Smith, is getting old. Trying to find a left tackle is a big deal. This coaching staff, Dan Quinn was the star of this coaching staff this year, and he might not be on this staff. And we saw what Mike McCarthy hired the first year with the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't know if you trusted him to make a great decision after Dan Quinn leaves. We knew Dan Quinn was a defensive guy and could get this team at least halfway better than they were the last year. But here's the thing that I tell people, all right, and listen, I'm loyal to the Cowboys because the Cowboys wrote me checks and changed my family life. So I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be a fan of the Cowboys for a long time. But make no mistake about it. I'm never over the top. I remember Irv came on here and said the Cowboys going to SoFi. And I had to come on Wednesday and be like, settle the hell down. No, they ain't. I didn't have the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl before the season. I ain't have them going while they was making this, putting 12 wins together. I didn't have them going to the Super Bowl in the playoffs. I did think they would beat the 49ers. I didn't think to the tune of 14 penalties and just dumb offensive play calling and energy, period. But the bottom line is this. As long as Jerry Jones hires coaches that he influences the way they do things, the Cowboys will be right here every year. That's what Stephen A. knows. That's all he's trying to tell the Dallas Cowboys. When he get on here with his hat and Southern Steve and I love Jerry Jones, he loves Jerry Jones because he knows eventually the Dallas Cowboys are going to get to a point where this failure will be equated to his relationship with the head coach. I wish we could pull up the clip because I was sitting on First Take when they hired Mike McCarthy. And I looked at Stephen A. and said, well, we got another example of a guy that Jerry Jones can influence and determine how he wants to put a staff together. It's going to continue to be that way. We sat on this same network and watched Jason Garrett go 8 and 8 and 8 and 8 and continue to hear Jerry Jones say, that's my guy. Eventually we'll get there. When Mike McCarthy came in, Kellen Moore, he's a holdover. He's the next boy genius, the guru, the boy. No, he ain't. He not. Based on the evidence we saw.
Well,
and I'm
hold
not
on.
talking about the 49ers game. I'm talking about down the road. This team went 12-5, and that's to credit them. It's hard to win 12 games in the NFL. I don't want people to get it misconstrued. But the bottom line is this. Where the Cowboys ended up after this San Francisco 49ers game, it's probably where they're going to end up going forward.
Well, listen, before Dominique chimes in here, because I'll go after him, I want to say that you're not totally wrong about, me and feeling what I feel about Jerry Jones.
I'm not wrong at all.
But it's also, I want to get on that yacht someday. I do want to get on that yacht. I do want to get on that yacht. Well, go ahead, Dom.
The bus is where the real fun happens. But let's remember how they landed on that coach. Was Mike McCarthy did a sleepover at Jerry Jones's house. I don't know if you guys remember that, but when he hired him, he was in his guest room. He did a sleepover. So like
ate Doritos. Ate Doritos.
So that's if that's how your coaching relationship is going to start, that's fine. Like I like my boss. I would love to hang out with my boss outside of work at the Christmas party.
That's right.
But I'm not going to be in your guest room because that suggests something that I don't want as far as a power dynamic. And that's the problem with this is I don't necessarily think the Cowboys are headed in the right direction, but I don't think that there's a better direction for them to head in because there's one thing that is not going to change in Dallas. Jerry Jones is in charge. And to correct the issues that you think they have, it's like
that I know I'm not. I listen to brothers and sisters who are, and I learn from wise minds. What I would say to Dominic Foxworth and Marcus Spears are a bunch of rhetorical questions that I'm just going to throw out there at y'all, right?
You have 30 seconds.
I got more than that, but it's okay. Here's the deal, all right? I'm sorry. We're talking about Quinn, and he was the hero, the guy, the defensive guru, and all this other stuff. Who did he succeed? Mike Dolan, who was peeled off the scrap heap, had no business having the job the year before, and had them as the 28th ranked defense. So by default, you were elevated. You were gloated about. DeMarcus Lawrence still there. Trayvon Diggs still there. You drafted Micah Parsons, okay? You changed things schematically because you had no business doing what the hell Mike Nolan was doing. Yep. But even though Dan Quinn is no scrub, he is the dude that guided the team to the Super Bowl in Atlanta but didn't blew a 28-3 lead. We got to remember stuff like that. We got to remember stuff like that. It's important. It's important because those are the kind of things that can contaminate the Cowboys because that's their history, okay? Let's call it what it is. We look at Dak Prescott on a serious note. Dak Prescott is a dude, always says the right things, class personified. Nobody dislikes him. When does that work for a quarterback? I'm asking y'all. When does that work for a quarterback? I got a lot more to say, but I won't say it because we're running out of time. When does that work for a quarterback? Where you always say the right things, you always do the right thing, you're loved, everybody loves you and whatever. You know what? What about fear? What about being scared to make mistakes? What about being scared to drop passes? What about being scared to run the wrong routes? Because this brother might not throw you the damn ball. What about Amari Cooper stepping up? You $20 million. Yo, bro, hell with friendship. I need you to get it done. Because if you can't get it done, I ain't interested in being your damn friend. Okay? Gallup is out. I got you here. I got CeeDee Lamb here. Okay? I got Schultz and Wilson. I need you to make plays. Okay? Get it done. We don't bring that up enough about Dak Prescott. Am I wrong about that?
Jerry Jones is
Am I wrong about that?
Like, all this is, Jerry Jones is the son. There is no room for anybody else to be that personality as long as Jerry Jones is there. Bill Parcells couldn't stay. Jimmy Johnson couldn't stay.
I'm talking about the player, though.
No, I'm saying the same thing. It's like,
what are you asking
what room
him
is
to
there
do?
to be the big dog when there's already a big dog there?
I'm saying that he has to be the one to hold people accountable in the end. Because, Swagoo, here's the deal. When we look at the Green Bay, we say Aaron Rodgers. When we look at any team, Tom Brady, we say Tom Brady. I'm saying when we think about the Cowboys, we think of Jerry Jones. Somebody on the field got to be able to hold people accountable.
Well, let me tell you one thing I do know. Dak does hold those guys accountable. But here's the thing I want to tell you.
Okay.
Didn't we just sit here 3 weeks ago and hear the owner get on the radio talking about the receivers need to get open?
Yeah.
So how do you not compromise your quarterback when you putting that in public? Dude, see, here's the thing. This is what everybody get misconstrued about me when I talk about the Cowboys. Because their mind goes to, I'm a fan, but they don't listen to the truth. I tell them about this team all the time, okay? Yeah. They were a good football team this year. I thought they would win a playoff game. I thought they were a better team because I thought offensively they would have some success against the 49ers, and eventually it would be up to Jimmy Garoppolo to win the game, and I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why I thought the Cowboys would win the game. I did not have them going any further in the playoffs after that. But here's the point that I want to make. Because I just said this on the Swagoo and Perk podcast, by the way, that's dropped. I had to put that plug in there.
Load it, rate, review.
SA, here's the thing, bro. And this is what Foxy just said from a coaching perspective as well. We done been through this already. I try to tell Cowboy fans all the time because they get mad at me when I start telling the truth. Believe it or not, as much as the 49ers fans was pissed off, the Cowboys fans usually are the most pissed off fan base towards me majority of the year. I got love and respect, so we got a mutual agreement there. But here's the bottom line. This conversation we having right now, we had the same one about Tony Romo. You've been on First Take a long time. Put Stephen A. and Foxy on the camera. Ain't this the same thing we've been saying since Tony Romo was the quarterback? Ain't this the same thing we've been saying when Wade Phillips was the coach? When Bill Parcells came in, that is when everybody thought it would change because Bill Parcells is not going to let anybody tell him what to do. Well, I was there. Guess who brought T.O. into the Dallas Cowboys organization? It's not new. Yeah. So I enjoy, like I've told you on this show 1,000 times, I'm going to go with the ebbs and flows of the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. They changed my family's life. I'm a fan for life.
You really need to stop that.
Stop saying
that's not true. I agree with Dominique. That's not true. Somebody else is going to pay you.
It wasn't out of the benevolence of Jerry Jones' heart.
You wasn't some scrub coming out of LSU
to Baton Rouge and say, look,
you were going to get paid by somebody.
Helpless Negro. Let me save him with a check. That's not what happened.
It's ridiculous.
You earned that money.
Yes, you did.
Because you
yes, you did. You need to stop.
So stop saying. You don't have to be a fan of nobody.
You're absolutely right. You need to stop.
I am smart enough to know that somebody else would have drafted me.
All right, then stop saying that.
But for 8 years, those checks said Dallas Cowboys.
All right,
so
what?
You know
Here's the thing.
Marcus,
we heard you enough. We got to go to another segment, man. We got to go to another segment.
Yeah. You know what, Marcus?
Whatever.
We got to stop acting brand new. I just choose to be loyal to the team that drafted me.
And that's fair, Marcus.
Foxy, do you not sit in the stands for the Baltimore Ravens?
Oh, yeah. That's because I love Ozzy, not because they hate me.
That's right.
Hey, Will McClay, my guy.
We'll leave
That's
it
my
there.
guy.
Tony Romo, Dak Prescott have the same playoff record now, and they were 6-9 this season outside
We've been having
of
this
the NFC
conversation
East.
since I started at this
pointed
network.
that one.
Whatever.
All right, you guys just going to keep talking over me? Let's move on.
Sorry, Molly.
That was swag.
Listening skills.
That's swag.
All right, let's go to the association. I need a break from y'all and these Cowboys. The Nets will take on the Wizards tonight, and while they'll be without KD because of that MCL injury, he's out about 4 to 6 weeks, they will have Kyrie Irving in the mix because the game's being played in D.C. So here's the deal. The Nets are currently a half game back from the 1 seed in the East behind both the Bulls and the Heat. But remember, as of right now, Kyrie cannot play in any games in New York because of the vaccine mandate. So Jay Williams back here with us. Jay, the 1 seed means home court, and home court right now means no Kyrie. So how much should the Nets value home court advantage? Because this is a unique situation here.
Well, the Nets should be competitive, right? But I actually think this is perfectly set up for them because now you need James Harden to do exponentially more, averaging 22 points per game. He hasn't averaged that since his 3rd year in the league, right? So now he needs to do more. You take your time with bringing Kevin Durant back off that that sprained MCL.
Yep.
And then if you happen to fall to the 5th or the 6th seed, the 7th seed, like if I'm the Nets, I'm completely fine with that. As long as my big 3 is on the court the majority of the games in the series, I'm not saying to go out and sandbag games. I'm just saying if you have to take your time extra with Kevin Durant, I'm okay with being that fix because if you're in that seed range, now all of a sudden, Stephen A., now you have Kyrie Irving on the floor for not a home court advantage for another team, it's called a home court disadvantage. Like I've seen what they were able to do to the Chicago Bulls in Chicago when Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant are hitting on all cylinders. And if you got the majority of your games with those 3 on the floor, then I don't care about home court advantage. Home court advantage don't mean nothing to me with those 3 dudes on the court. Don't mean nothing. And it doesn't mean I'm not being as competitive, because I know how you're going to try to twist something. Whatever the hell gives me the best advantage to win a world championship, an NBA championship.
Right. So before I go any further with this, let me make sure, because I want to get you on the record.
Yeah, you're going to clarify.
You're on national television. Are you an advocate of the Nets losing enough games where they'd end up being the road team more than being the home team for the sole express purpose of ensuring that the part-time player that is Kyrie Irving is available? Are you advocating
you get me so
that?
frustrated with
Are
this
you
stuff.
advocating that? Jay Williams?
Can I have some water on this? I'm going to need this.
Yeah, get him some water. Get him some water.
Can I please have
get
some
water,
water,
Russ.
because
Thank you very much. Go ahead and get some water. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got a bottle right here. You need it? Hold on, Russ.
First off,
you need it?
First off,
there you go.
Thank you. First
go
off,
ahead.
you know who I am.
That's why I'm asking.
You know
That's
how competitive I am.
I can't ask the question. I can't ask the question.
All I'm saying,
I can't
if it happens that I'm going to take my time bringing Kevin Durant back, that we happen to fall into that seed range that allows us to have our big 3 on the court, that gives us the best chance to win.
Right.
If it happens that way, fine. But I'm not chasing a top seed just to have home court advantage. I'm trying to win, but if I happen to lose, I'm okay with that.
All right, I'm going.
There we go. Is that a way of answering the question?
No, because see, I'm switching now, and I love the fact that this is frustrating you because various times you've come on this show, we're supposed to just give a perspective and a take. What you do is you turn into Mike Wallace or Ed Bradley or somebody asking a bunch of questions. So now I'm reversing.
I do.
Yes, I don't ask questions. I give you my position. But you ask questions. Now it's my turn.
Sure.
So let me answer this question. Jay
Ask away.
What if Kevin Durant were not hurt? And Kevin Durant, James Harden.
Different scenario.
No. What I'm saying is at that particular moment in time, because the part-time player that is Kyrie Irving.
You're so fixated on the
playing
part-time.
at home,
So
right?
fixated
Oh,
on
yeah, I
the
am.
field.
So what I'm saying to you is that would you be an advocate of them being the road team instead of the home team for the express purpose of Kyrie Irving being available?
Why is this
Would you
man
do that?
asking me hypothetical questions? I'm telling you what
That's
is.
not hypothetical.
It is. What if Kevin Durant wasn't hurt? He is hurt. What are you talking about?
No.
He is hurt. I'm giving
the
you
part
my
about Kyrie
perspective.
ain't hypothetical. That ain't hypothetical.
But you're fixated on this
That ain't
part-time
hypothetical.
thing. And by the way, I heard you yesterday, which was so disappointing from you.
Yeah.
That you're going to turn this into a negative
I try to
spin.
disappoint you a lot.
Well, you do,
when it comes
especially
to
with
Kyrie.
this topic.
No, it's actually
because
with nothing else. It's really Kyrie Irving. That's where you and I disagree.
Go ahead, man.
There's
Go
nothing
ahead,
else.
man.
I'm saying there's really nothing else we disagree about if you really think about it. We usually agree on most things. Kyrie Irving is where we part like the Red Sea.
Because you said it would be a disgrace if the Nets won the championship. Tell me what you did say, because I heard you, but I want to hear you say it live.
It would be terrible for the game of basketball. I said it on NBA Countdown.
I'm gonna pray for
I said
you.
it on First Take.
I'm gonna pray for you.
I'm gonna say it all year long.
I'm praying for you.
One of the worst things, and remember, this is coming from me.
Okay.
I'm Knicks first, New York
That's
always.
fine. Okay.
Right? This is the exception. If the Brooklyn Nets, who have compromised themselves, capitulated to Kyrie Irving, If they
capitulated.
Yes, I said.
Interesting.
I said it.
They've acquiesced to Kyrie.
I didn't go to do. I didn't go to do.
No. Capitulate is a big word. What are you talking about?
But I'm intelligent.
So they're acquiescing to Kyrie's demands, is what you're saying.
I didn't say demands. I said capitulating to the wishes of Kyrie Irving.
To the wishes?
If Kyrie Irving's Brooklyn Nets were to win the championship, it's bad for basketball.
Wishes.
It's bad for basketball.
What are Kyrie Irving's wishes?
It's bad. What are you talking about?
You said capitulated to Kyrie Irving's wishes.
Kyrie Irving ain't playing home games.
Is that's a Kyrie Irving wish?
No, well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, he can change it. He can change it. Right? He can change it. He can change it. But he isn't, and that's fine. But what I'm saying to you is this: Kyrie Irving being available for just road games, and him playing for the Brooklyn Nets under those conditions, after they initially said, "No, you all in or you all out." I believe that if the Brooklyn Nets win the championship, it would be bad for basketball. And let me explain why.
Okay, go ahead.
Because as I've said to you on many occasions in the past, and we ain't gonna get into the vaccine and all that stuff, because I truly understand, people have different opinions about it, and I'll leave it alone. I don't touch it, right? But I've said this, and I'll say it to you again.
Okay.
That wasn't the first time Kyrie Irving has been off from work. And the reality of the situation is that this brother, and I'm not saying he don't work hard on his game and also he's spectacular. We all know he's superstar, he's box office. I'd give him $50 million a year. This is the other thing I said. I'd never give him a long-term contract again. He's not.
I'm okay with that. The last part, that's what you want to do if you're owner of a team.
I'd make him one of the highest paid players in the league, but it would be 1 year at a time to ensure that he's going to show up to work to earn his money. And I'm saying to you, if he wins and they win, watch how you got a whole bunch of people in the league that's going to feel like it's cool.
Because you start this kind of stuff.
I do.
You know what the narrative should be for the NBA?
Me?
Do you want to know you know what narrative I would perpetuate?
Okay, go ahead.
If I had your platform, which we kind of do in the same way I come on before you.
Yeah, you do have a 4-hour platform.
I do.
You do.
I talk about how great it is that the league is working with cities, with players who are unvaccinated and vaccinated, to work together to come to an ultimate goal about having an NBA championship. I don't take negative twist on this scenario and say how disgraceful it's going to be. You use this word all the time. I watch all your rankings every single weekend, NFL games. You got Cardinals up there. You got the Cowboys. You say it's fluid.
It's fluid.
Isn't life fluid, Stephen A?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Isn't there a different way we felt a couple months ago compared to the way we feel right now? Doesn't that deserve to be in the scenario?
Gentlemen, speaking of fluid, I'm the matriarch of the show. I actually know your schedule. You need to be on radio.
See?
Sorry. I don't want to interrupt the debate.
Look, I didn't plan it. You playing with talking. I didn't plan it.
I need a second take for me. I got like 20.
You're about to miss your radio hit.
Go ahead, man.
Do you have anything else you want to say before you go?
All I'm saying,
go ahead.
It's starting to become a big issue with me on how I feel like you lament Kyrie every single day.
Well,
it's like you are attacking this man's character left and right every single day. He hasn't said anything.
To be continued, but let me say this to you. I don't give a damn.
I know you don't.
Hold on, let me finish. I don't give a damn if it's a big issue with you. I don't give a damn if you talk about it every morning. I don't give a damn what you think I think about Kyrie Irving. I spit facts when it comes to that.
That's your opinion.
And I said,
don't conflate your opinion with facts. Stop conflating your opinion with facts. Just because Stephen A yells it doesn't make it right. It don't make it factual.
Excuse me. You ain't timid. You yell.
Oh, because you're making me yell.
I ain't making. Oh, you ain't control yourself.
What is my demeanor mostly? I sit back and I listen. My demeanor is I sit back and I listen.
Did Kyrie Irving skip out on this team last year because of the riots at the U.S. Capitol?
Do you know what happened last year with the George Floyd? Was that not an emotional time for you? Were you not on TV every single day talking about how it was to be as a black man?
We were at work.
And my thing.
We were at work. Everybody else showed up to work.
That's how you choose to look at your job.
You're making a pass.
I don't make it a pass.
You're an apologist.
Oh, now I'm a Kyrie Irving apologist.
Absolutely.
I've been on TV.
I never said that about anybody else.
I've never said that
about anybody else.
I've been on
TV. Kyrie Irving, yes.
I've been on TV and I have criticized moves that Kyrie made when he was in Boston.
I didn't say you didn't.
But you're calling me a Kyrie Irving apologist.
About this.
Because these are unprecedented.
About this, Jay.
I'm sorry, Molly.
No, it's fine. I just didn't want you to miss the radio hit.
I didn't say that about anything else you said about Kyrie. About this issue with the Nets, yes. You have been an apologist. You're damn right.
You're holding it against Kyrie that the Brooklyn Nets were the team that told him, you know what? We can't have you be because it's going to mess up with our team chemistry.
I'm holding it against
you. Go
Kyrie
ahead.
Irving.
All right. Now, you know what, Kyrie? Things have changed a little bit because it's fluid, like Stephen A. Smith
I'm
said.
holding it.
Now come on back.
I'm holding it against
But it's
Kyrie.
a disgrace.
I'm holding it against Kyrie Irving that he coaxed a whole bunch of brothers into making commitments and that he ultimately did it.
He coaxed a bunch of brothers into making a commitment.
Yes.
And now you're using the fact that he's unvaccinated by saying he copped out on a commitment.
Well,
Please,
hold on.
how about the people that have lost their jobs?
The US
they copped out on their commitment?
The U.S. Capitol stuff, that wasn't no vaccine issue. I brought that up.
That's how Kyrie
I went off about that last year.
Gentlemen, it's over. Coming up here on First Take.
Brother, take.
Well, it's over for now. You can revisit it another day. That being the Packers and Tom Brady and the Bucks. Kimberly Martin back here with us. Now, Rodgers has always had the skill set. We all know this, but Tom Brady's got all those rings. Marcus, I will start with you. For the rest of the playoffs this season, who would you rather have? Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Seriously?
Seriously.
Tom Brady. Like, what evidence do we have that tells us Tom Brady is not more equipped for this moment than any other quarterback in the NFL? None. We have no evidence of that. And then you look at the season that he's put together. I believe Aaron Rodgers is the MVP, just like he was last year when they lost to Tampa Bay. And it was a 3-interception performance by Tom Brady. But this is what happened in the Green Bay game. I want to remind everybody. When the game needed to be milked and the game needed to be sealed, Tom Brady had the ball in his hands, and every household in America knew the game was over. Did we not? And then we look at this season. The Green Bay Packers, I feel like, are a better team than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I feel like that. The only reason I don't know that for sure is because Tom Brady is the quarterback. They've lost Chris Godwin. AB is out. They're just getting Leonard Fournette back. And we saw this team last week do a phenomenal job offensively against the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs. We know we can bet our safe money is on Tom Brady being ready for the moment, putting his team in a position to win, and having more success than all quarterbacks that's in these playoffs. Now, if y'all got some evidence to prove different, show it to me. But based on right now and the way he's playing and the way he's stayed at this elite level, there's a reason why Tom Brady is considered what he's considered. And he showed up in these moments.
Hold on, Kim. Swagger, I just wanted to sit up there and say, for the record, I'm very, very disappointed in you.
Why?
You know ladies first. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Well, Molly.
You know what? You would expect that from
Molly
Marcus,
actually
right? You would expect that.
I'm just messing with you, Swagger.
I don't know. Maybe he's mad because last week we were talking about the Cowboys and, he had his chest all out. Why doesn't everybody have the same energy when it comes to the 49ers and the Cowboys?
It's still out. My chest still out. It ain't going nowhere.
Marcus, I just have one question. You started all of that by saying Aaron Rodgers is the MVP.
He was last year and he lost.
Okay, but right now, you don't think Aaron Rodgers is having a better MVP type season? You don't think the Packers are the most complete team in the NFL? You don't think so? Okay, so
but that's not the question we asked.
But no. But the reason they're the most complete team, the reason that they're the team that you have the most confidence in, is because of 12. No?
Yes, Kim.
Okay. Okay. I'm just curious how you think I just think right now, Aaron Rodgers, when you look at this team, it doesn't matter. In this moment, yes, Tom Brady has all the Super Bowls. We get that. Aaron Rodgers only has one, but we're talking about this year. We're talking about this playoff situation. We're talking about this Packers team that's coming off a bye. We're talking about a Packers team that literally is getting reinforcements while Brady is losing offensive linemen. Like, to me, when you think about confidence, who do you think is the guy that you would rather have going into these playoffs? It's got to be Aaron Rodgers.
Well, a couple of things that jump out of my mind. Number one, I'm watching, the tag, the promo for First Take, Her Take, and, Kimberly and them. All I know is that I've never been invited. The ladies have never invited me. I don't understand why.
Forget you. Why should you be invited? I've never been invited.
That's a very good point, Molly.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
I'll be first on the list.
You need a male perspective.
Do we need a male
amongst all those women sometimes? That's all I'm trying to say. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying that. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, hell, let me get that out the way.
Or you need to learn a few things.
I will tell the truth. We get enough damn male perspectives. Let them have theirs.
No. I'm talking about when they talking amongst themselves.
Oh.
You see, it's difference. You understand? It's just like the fellas are talking. Who's here with us now? Kimberly, who's the matriarch of the show? Molly. But they get together and the fellas ain't allowed. I mean, what's up with that? What's up with that? I'm just saying. That's number one. Anyway.
That's number one, right
Number
there.
two, would I rather have Rodgers or Brady? Brady's the easy answer because of resume. But I got to tell you something. Based on the eye test, and what I'm seeing and sensing the moment that we're in, for me, it's Rodgers. I'm not disagreeing with what Swagoo was talking about as it pertains to, tried, true, tested Tom Brady. But I'm thinking, well, you just beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field last year. You gonna pull that off twice in a row against that brother with this Green Bay Packers team, with Aaron Rodgers knowing how we'll all look at him if he let it happen again in back-to-back years, considering his level of unquestionable, undebatable, clear greatness? I don't know if I can sit up there and say that. If I had to sit up there, if I were to ever bet
after all
against,
that you just said, you should be able to know.
Listen, if I were to ever decide to bet against Tom Brady, this is the moment that I would do it.
So what's your answer? You're saying
it would
Aaron
be Rodgers
because he's a bad man?
I would literally, I'm saying this is the perfect time to go against Brady because of what I just
So you would rather have Rodgers.
So that helps.
So
in this moment of the playoffs,
you would rather have Rodgers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Final word here.
It's not just about the resume though. That to me is look at what this team is doing this season. Look at how Rodgers is playing this season. Like there's a reason he is having an MVP year. There's a reason that this Packers team, you look at them, I said it before, they are the most complete team. They are a Super Bowl favorite. But Brady, I get it, resume, greatest of all time, but Aaron Rodgers is the greatest show when he's on the football field.
Kimberly,
he
you
can
give it up,
do
though.
things.
You can give it up, though. Swagoo's just in a bad mood.
He is. He is some type of
He's
way.
all grouchy.
I'm not in a
I
bad
know.
mood.
It seems like he's in a damn mood.
I'm listening to both of you in your own heads try to determine who would you rather have.
I'm going to go to
the only one that clearly said
you're going to go to
Tom Brady.
Oh, cool. I'm just going to go home.
I think Swagoo's just in a very bad mood. Smile.
He's just in a
Smile.
way.
Relax.
I am
Be cool.
fine.
Be smooth.
I'm fine,
Smooth.
guys.
We'll let you on the
fine.
podcast, Marcus. It's okay, gosh.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Jeez.
Little
I just wish y'all wouldn't have took so long. Molly, did you see that they had to kind of go through their references
No,
to
they
determine
went all
who?
around the mulberry bush. I lost them a long time ago. You know I'm right.